Not yet. Yeah.
Been a day and a half. I mean, take anything away from the quarterbacks and kind of what
I think I can say that they've had a good summer. You know, it felt like they've been working really hard. There hasn't been any real surprises as far as the playbook, understand what's going there. I think they're in good shape. Arms look live and fresh. So again, day and a half. We'll see how it goes in about a week. But we've been noticing they've had a good summer.
Good. Jeff, one thing you guys talked about in the spring was just kind of an improved touch. Obviously, goes along with the accuracy. It seems to have shown that a little bit in his first couple of days. Some of those deeper balls.
Yeah, it's kind of like those touch throws, and he made a couple of nice ones today. And he's worked pretty hard at it. You can tell that again showing up in the summer that he's been working at it. And yeah, so he's off to a good start.
Where do you start with when you sit down with these guys going over film? Or is there a couple things you really hone in on when you're evaluating them and picking them apart a little bit?
Yeah, we'll kind of go from practice to practice. I mean, the big piece has been consistency because, again, all these guys bring some good things to the table who can consistently do it over a longer period of time. You know, like after this practice wraps up, we'll watch this thing. There'll be a couple larger things that show up after watching the tape. We'll always start a meeting with that, like, hey, pinpoint these couple of things to focus on, and then obviously we'll watch it.
Looks like tight end's pretty active today. Is that a position you guys looking to kind of see some increased production over last year?
We're going to need it. I mean, in both those guys. I mean, all those guys, you should say, but the two that have played a good amount, Perk and Darrell already. Darrell had the nice play on the flag route late in practice. We're counting on those guys to be a weapon in the pass game, and they got to be pretty good in the run game too.
What's the next step for Dwayne this year to kind of build off that strong finish he had last season?
You know, I think in a lot of ways he can continue to be a dual threat guy because obviously he can run in the open field when he gets out in space and going, getting those tough yards consistently. When it's short yardage situations or whatever, 2-yard runs on the way it's blocked turns into 5-yard runs. I think that continues to go. You know, his understanding is even better from a year ago, and we'll be able to do some different things with him.
I know it's early, but is it fair to say that Chico and Quentin Pounds are getting a little bit harder look from you right now?
You know, I think everybody's getting a good look. I mean, anytime those guys are out there, whether it's morning or afternoon, they've done some good things. They've got some talent, but as this playbook builds, we'll see who continues to handle that. I wouldn't put them saying they're by far two guys we're looking at ahead of any of the newer guys.
Is there, I always ask this, and you never really have a good number, but in terms of install in the playbook, I mean, you have 50% of it in right now, 80% of anything like
2
that?
2 days, no, we're below 50% for sure. I mean, there's still a lot more coming the next week and a half.
When would you like, I mean, I know you've got the quarterback reps kind of scripted out a few practices, but when would you kind of like to change that, to put it on, and put more reps on one guy, or do you have a time
early
when that might be?
Yeah, I would like to, you know, shoot, if you'd like to play this out, crap, I'd like to have known this a year ago, and so the first guys getting the majority of the reps with the ones and getting comfortable and all that, but we want to just make the right decision, and so, but sooner is definitely better, but we're just not going to be too quick and feel like we're going to go back.
Running back, you guys got Ben, Levon returning a lot of experience as well. How do you see those guys being used?
I think they're going to be used a lot. And you know, it's tough to say one back the whole season, staying healthy. I mean, we're going to keep a couple of them out there on the field at times. I mean, so we're going to use them a good amount, both those guys. And then we got a couple of young guys behind them. I mean, Jovan Dotson had good spring, and so we're expecting things from him. All those guys getting a piece of the pie.
They're not in pads yet, but it looked like Levon Coleman is actually running a little bit more authority, like making quicker decisions. And
I think he's in good shape. I really do. Like, you know, Tim Saha does a great job with these guys, and there's a lot of guys that are moving around really good, and I think they've had a good summer.